So it is vlog day 7. We're on the rehab program. It seems to be very responsive. It feels good. So today we're going to do some pulling exercises and work in some light hip hinging movement. We'll see what happens. I feel pretty confident because things are feeling a lot better. Of course, I'm not going to overdo it. It's going to be real light and just focus on going through the motions. And we're just going to kind of feel it out. So we'll see what happens. I need to eat one more time. Today's calories are just a little over 400. I already got 53 grams of protein in, so I need some more carbs before I work out, because the other movements I'm going to try to up the intensity just a little bit as long as everything is secure and safe. So a lot of the isolated movements will be more intense, since as long as my back's continue to feel good. So we're gonna push through, get some more calories in, and also get a lot more water in. I feel very dehydrated. I'm very thirsty. I need some electrolytes, but I don't have any. So, all right, let's go eat. All right, so we ate our second meal, massaged, stretched. Well, we needed a little bit more stretching. A little bit of rehab work, and really we did the stretching portion earlier for most of that, a little bit of stability work. I just have to do the banded clamshells. After I do the banded clamshells, we're gonna go ahead and do some light hip hinging. See how that goes. Followed by, we're gonna experiment with 1 to 2 rep sets and do a lot of sets of pull-ups. That way I'm very fresh for each one of those. I used to be really good at pull-ups, and then for a while I couldn't train them. So I'm a little slacked on that. So we're gonna try that today. We're gonna try definitely some rows, a couple other variations of some pulling exercises. I don't remember what the 4th exercise is, and then we're gonna finish off with just a couple sets of hammer curls. So we're gonna give that a shot, kind of feel it out, and go from there. Oh, all right. So first things first, side plank clamshells. Bring the hips through for glute activation. Open up the hips. Make the clamshell nice and wide. Feel it in the piriformis, 5 to 10 seconds. Rest. And, again, it's going to be a lot of the rehab, and we're going to have a lot of repetitive stuff here, but it's part of the process. It's those little things that make the biggest difference in the end. Ooh, it's so silly, you know certain things, but then your mind gets a little clouded, you're not as focused. It's one of those things, and then you have a slip up at some point, and an accident, injury occurs, and then you're set back, and you gotta restart, go through the process again, and it's very, very annoying. It's very annoying. All my injuries have correlated with me getting out of focus because of certain different life events. And with each of those life events, I always end up getting caught up and doing something dumb, because I'm more mentally pushing myself than being mindful of what I'm doing and how I feel, or even down to the bottom of how mindful I am of my form. So I always end up with an injury based off of that. But it's not that I don't know better. I'm just not focusing when I'm lifting. When I end up getting injured. So it ends up becoming one of those things that I know better. I've done a lot better. But we're back in the rat race, so to speak. Got caught up in it and emotionally was blinded and ended up just doing something just out of alignment. It's very rare, but it does happen. So I know that I've had Achilles tendonitis when I first started boxing training, because I tried doing a lot of different footwork and a lot of jump rope, and I didn't monitor the volume because I was like, it's just jump rope. And I ended up getting Achilles tendonitis mixed with everything else. And that was inflamed by everything. Needless to say, the amount of exercise I couldn't do because of it was more than I had initially anticipated, but I get caught up and there happens, so I rehab that, and now unless I do something really extreme, it does not inflame. So I mean, I'm back to training calves, as you have seen in some of my other videos, and it feels just fine. You know, I can go through, I'm being really slow about adding weight back, but I am always working in a deficit. I work till near failure. Again, my goals are more strength orientated, so working to failure is not a good move when you're trying to work for strength, just because you're working with really high loads, and once you start getting to that failure point, you fatigue, your form drops, and you know, you can make a bad call and end up detaching, tearing, or doing some sort of damage. You know, you will look at like Hathor Bjornsson. Even he recently was talking about all the talk about how popular it is to go till failure now, and was like, that is a great way to get hurt. So, and it is, you know, there's a time and a place for it. Going for strength is not the time and place for going to failure. If you're doing bodybuilding and stuff and you're doing moderate loads, I can see going till failure being, you know, why you would want to do that, but then it also depends on how heavy the weight is and how conditioned you are. Oh, I think that's one more of those that are good. But you know, it's a big thing to make sure that when you train, you're training with purpose. And I know that we all, you know, sometimes we're feeling down, or we're not into lifting, or we just get into lifting and there's deep reasons and not deep reasons. Like I've talked to a lot of people, there's like, I don't know, I just want to look better and feel better. And I'm like, why is that? And there's, you know, there's those deep reasons where you talk to that one guy and he's like, well, so-and-so broke up with me after 6 years. So they're really motivated to get the revenge body and also let out a little bit of rage and prove to themselves that they can do something. Everyone has some sort of purpose. There's deep reasons, and there's also not super deep reasons, and either way, you know, it can all add to the motivation. You know, the deeper the reason, the better the motivation. That's your why. You know, kind of helps with your discipline. Discipline over motivation every time. Every time. So, it's important to remember that, you know, if you're going for something, it's a great mentality to have, like, I'm going to do it no matter what. Because what sets aside people who are really successful in certain things and aspects in life are the ones who are like, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's discipline. Other people are like, I'm just not feeling motivated today. Wait till tomorrow. And that's when it falls off. But there's also an extreme to being disciplined where it's like, I'm really sick, but I gotta go on and get doing it. It's not. It's not a good idea. So, because if you're sick and you go work out, your recovery is gonna be slower. Whether it's strength gains, hypertrophy gains, really doesn't matter. Those are gonna be very minimal, if at all, if you work out when you're sick. And those who are injured, same thing applies. They're like, I might be hurt, but I still gotta do it. I gotta push through the pain. No, that sounds cool, sure. But when you're like 30 and you need a knee surgery or a back surgery and you're like, yeah, back in my day, I used to bench 405 to blow up my shoulder. It's like you're really young to blow up your shoulder. There are people who are 40, 50 years old doing that weight for reps in certain exercises. Same thing for squats and deadlifts. You end up hurting yourself really, really young because you buy into the mentality that no matter what, I gotta do it. There are conditions to follow when it comes to that role. So you gotta play it. You gotta play it right. You gotta think smarter and work harder. It's not really one or the other, especially when it comes to anything fitness or activity related. So, it's just something that you gotta really think about. Gotta really think about and apply it. So, you know what? Balance. Balance is key. Balance is so key. I can see the reflection of the camera over there. I was just making sure my head isn't getting cut off while I'm talking to you guys. Balance is key. We're gonna do it on both sides. Used to be something I used to apply very, very, very often. Now I'm not doing it so much. It's the small things. That side doesn't burn or fatigue anywhere near as quick. Of course, that's my first set. So, really gotta build body up in balance. I'm a heavy believer when it comes to fitness and health that it's about balance. Diet, nutrition, all that, it's balance. You gotta make sure you balance this exercise with this mobility and make sure that you're staying contralaterally balanced, unilaterally. One side needs to be the same as the other side. You end up with an imbalance, and before you know it, you have an injury, or you're like, oh, my left side's so weak. It's like, yeah, well, you have an imbalance. Working in unison. Keep everything in balance. Work one side just as hard as the other side. Keep it even. They'll get there. They'll get there. Well, it's just one of those things. It's just part of life. Balance, work, home life. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. It's a good thing to have. Just balance. So I'm gonna balance out my piriformis on both sides. See if that helps expedite whatever's going on in the lower regions of my posterior chain to get a little bit better. So let's keep going. Ooh. Yeah, I'm tired. I haven't even started. Ooh. But that's one of those things where it's mind over matter. Because it's not gonna hurt me. If I feel tired, I can just get it done, make myself do it. So probably got one more to do. I don't know. Everyone who works out and lifts has the same issue. You count, you're like, was that the second set or third set? Was that the 10th or 12th rep? I don't know. It's It's a funny little thing that we all deal with because you go back and forth between focusing on the movement, focusing on the count. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm sure any of you who've watched this, who work out, have dealt with that, and you who are getting ready to start embark on your fitness journey, you will deal with it. It's really funny. When it happens, you're like, oh my goodness, which one was it? He was right. That's funny. Because it's a thing. It really is. That's good. That's good. We're just going to do that one. I was thinking about 2 more or something, but I don't know. I think that's okay. Oh, I'm just ready to get into the main part of the workout. See how it goes. Get those hip hinging movements going. Nice and light. I'll probably use 35, 40 pounds. We'll see how that goes. I should probably start lighter. And then when I say that, I'm usually right. So we'll start with 20 pounds and we'll probably do 3 sets today. Nice and light, not to aggravate anything. So we'll start with 20 and then we'll go to 35 and then we'll go to 40 if I'm feeling it. Bigger jump between the first and second, but the first one's really gonna set the pace. So I gotta move you to be able to record it. So next scene. All right, so I moved you and I started playing some music. I need to take my creatine. I don't think I'm gonna take pre-workout today. I mean, I'm not doing anything where I feel like I need, focus stimulants or any sweat enhancers. I'm not really feeling the caffeine. Plus, it's expensive, so I'm just gonna take my creatine. But I'll take that here in a little bit. So, time for some hip hinges and see how they feel. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna start with 20 pounds. And we're just gonna really focus on hinging at the hips, not going any lower to stretch the lower back. We're just gonna go to the point where we feel okay. We're gonna do more of a deadlift variation, less of just going down and coming back up. Focus on lightly squeezing the glutes, feeling a little bit in the hamstrings. Well, mostly the glutes and the hamstrings, and keeping the core braced. So, I don't know if you can tell a difference, but I've been working on my cut. Like I know in some of the shots you can see it holding a little close to my stomach there. So I'm still not ripped, but I am working on, I'm working on my cut. So I'm a lot leaner than I used to be. Once I get shredded, I will go ahead and show the picture before and after of how I used to look. Because I used to be a little bigger. And show how I look now. Also, I need to make sure you're recording. We're in luck. You are. All right, here we go. Moment of truth here. The good news is no twinging or pulling in my glute. There was one rep where I felt it, it was like, hey. So I don't think I'm gonna go up and weight. I think I'm just gonna tempo myself here. You know, as much as I know I can do more weight, probably significantly more weight, I'm just gonna err on the side of caution this time. You know, I don't care what anybody says, because they're like, that's why no one will ever remember you. That very classic saying. But I prefer to go a little bit slower for these next couple of weeks, probably next 4 weeks, and slowly rehab it before I get back into it, because this week I'll also try squats. So just really light goblet squats. And depending on how this goes for my next 2 sets with that weight and how those squats go, next week I might go up a little bit, and then I might go up a little bit, and then a little bit. And then if I'm just not having any issues anymore, I'll go back into barbell deadlifting and just go really light, just work on some tempo stuff. I noticed one thing is that over the past several weeks, you know, I was having back pain before I heard it this time, which I think is due to the piriformis, but there's a lot of anatomy right there. You know, my core endurance was really, really low, because like I said in a couple of videos ago, I was just trying to cram as much stuff in as possible, and I would typically run out of time at the very end of my workout just for the duration that I had, and I couldn't get my core in. And you know, I neglected that, but once I started doing core, you know, 3 or 4 days a week and just working on form, stability, and endurance, it started going away. And that's why, like a few videos ago, I was like, yeah, my back feels all better. And then I pulled something in my butt. So, one of my hairs got my nose. So, let's do another set. Stay. Not gonna lie. I was bracing real hard, if you couldn't tell. So my voice keeps cracking. It's very raspy. At least I hear it in my head. I can hear it over my music. That actually really burned, going really slow control like that. You know, over the past few weeks, not a few weeks, however long it's been since I started having sciatic pain because I pulled something in my butt. However long it's been, I've been very mentally aware of bending, hinging, picking stuff up. So I've also really restricted myself on stuff that I can and can't do. That's not aggravated, because that is a whole different level of pain. Like, actually, I was walking through a grocery store and my side kept pinching when I would take a step like this with my right leg, and my left leg would go back, and my whole left leg, glute, and lower back would just lock up, and I kept dropping. It was not fun. So it feels good to just move, you know, do something that I've been scared of for, you know, however long it's been, which hasn't been that long, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. So that it feels really, really, really nice. You know, I would love just to be able to go 110% in and do what I want to be able to do. I guess it's just kind of one of those things, you know. It's life, and it happens, and you just kind of got to roll with it, you know, find peace in every situation. So, man. Also, if you like the new long form content that I'm doing instead of the more sporadic edits, which personally I think the sporadic edits are funnier, but this is a way more authentic way to post, and it allows me to post a little bit more frequently. If you like it, please let me know. You know, it would mean a lot. I am trying to take this really serious, you know, because I do know a little bit of information I would like to share and help people out. So just let me know. Let me know if you like it. If you don't, let me know that you prefer the short-term content, the more sporadic edits. So I know most of my subscribers are from YouTube Shorts, but You know, I hope you're willing to join me for the more long stuff. All right, one more set. One more set. All right, that's enough of that. Don't want to overwork it. End up setting myself back even further. Oh man, crazy to think that like 2 years ago, everything that I'm working back to right now is super easy. But you know, life happens, and it's not the excuse or the setback, it's the comeback. So, oh man. All right, time to try the single or double sets for several sets of pull-ups, just to focus on power and strength. So, kind of develop that way. It's a fun training technique that I know I used to use, and I used it for a few lifts, and it works phenomenal. Because within a short period of time, as long as your volume equals the same, your body adapts the same whether you do a set of 30 or you do 30 sets of one, you know, or 15 sets of two. So, and it's worked before. Like, I'm not just like this case study says, even though some of the case studies, they're worth looking into. It's been proven to work, worked for me. And I'm getting a little bored of sitting down doing lat pull downs. So, and on my last video, it was funny because I had said that I pulled my elbows in and then pull the bar down. That way you get more lat activation. I realized on one of my sets that I did that. Didn't do it at all. So it was funny because mentally, that's what I go for. Sometimes it just doesn't connect. So, kind of funny. So, let's get into this. I gotta move you again. So, next clip. All right. Took a little bit of a break. I still need to take my creatine. I'm only saying that because I want to remember. I need to do shrugs, some rows, 2 sets of hammers, and I'm done. I'm probably not going to clip most of it because it's taken me a long time to be able to go through and do all this, and it's mostly because of safety reasons. But I also get caught up in explaining stuff, so I need to kind of get in here and get this done. And you know, unless I have extra information and advice on different lifts and what to focus on, I think it might be just a little boring for you to sit here and watch me not say anything between sets. So, I mean, if you don't mind, let me know down in the comments. I'm not trying to panhandle for comments, but if you don't mind and you do enjoy that, let me know. Let's give this a shot. I know the biggest thing here that I'm not gonna really give a shot is a great way to do shrugs to get that whole upper trap, which I call it the whole upper trap. It's really just the upper trap fibers and how they're orientated, which ways that they flow and how they contract. The upper traps. It's good to lean forward. That way it really pulls against those fibers and then you shrug up and back like that. If you stand straight up and shrug up and back, it really limits your range of motion where it's only like this, it's only like an inch. Versus if you're over here, you can get quite a bit of extra movement. But just kind of hinging right here, I can feel it kind of tight back here. So if the first set goes well, I might try a slight lean forward, but I'm going to try just to stand up and not really focus on back, just up to my neck. So let's see how that goes. Step back nice and safely. pretty good. I'll probably keep you around for one more set. But that felt just fine. I don't know if you can see it from your angle, but I could really feel it, especially looking down and looking at my collarbone and with it coming up and then feeling it go slightly down. That, like, this bit, right, like, right there, that little extra stretch, I try to let it go down really slow on the eccentric portion, and I really felt a very nice stretch there at the bottom. Range of motion is a big contributor, besides intensity probably being the biggest when it comes to hypertrophy. And I know I'm not a bodybuilder, but there's still muscles that I want to look bigger, you know, be stronger, have more muscle fibers to recruit from. So, you know, there's always that difference of like, a bodybuilder's strong if he's big, because the more fibers to recruit from, the stronger you are, versus like someone who doesn't have all that. Sorry, I had this deep-seated fear you weren't recording. But, you know, the more muscle fibers you have, big muscle is a strong muscle. I'm pretty sure Sam Sulek said that recently too. And it is true. But there's also other ways to make a muscle really strong and not be that big. If you watch some major league powerlifters, not strongmen, but just like strict powerlifters, some of those guys who are pulling weight that is just as much as someone three times their size can pull more than someone 3 times their size. So it's about how you train and how specific you can get. So strength, size, appearance. You're just working out for mental health, you know what I'm saying? Kind of lost count on that one. So I did a few extra, I might have just got the right reps. But we'll see. So you guys are gonna see the next one. I'm not gonna record the third one. But yeah, you know, there is a balance of certain things, and someone told me, you know, chase 2 rabbits, catch none. Chase 1, you got dinner. Might sound a little bit weird, but if you try to chase 2 goals at the same time, you probably won't hit either one. There are some people out there who can hybrid train, and they do great. But in almost every instance, it's good to just focus on one goal. Hit that goal. If you have another goal, shoot for it after. Big issue that I have right now is I want to do strongman, but I'm short for strongman. But you got to work with what you got. And I've always wanted to do strongman for, not always, but ever since I found strongman many years ago, I have desperately wanted to participate and win World's Strongest Man, or Strongest Man on Earth, Brian Shaw's contest at the Shaw Classic. I really want to be able to win. I really do. There's just some events that I would, like Atlas stones, to like set it up on some of those platforms. I just don't know how I would do it. But I also don't have Atlas stones to practice with, so I might be really efficient at it if I start training with them. But we'll see. So, and I also want to do a professional boxing match. So Kenton Lee was teaching me boxing. I have a hard time because we live so far away now to go meet up and get an actual training session in. So right now I'm chasing, really the only rabbit I'm chasing is how strong I used to be. I'm trying to get those strength levels up and slim down, look pretty good. That way I know how to do it. So I need to do this. You'll see the next clip. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see me from there, but it's just kind of what we have to do right now. So I didn't record my first set, I forgot. But we're doing the wide grip rows instead of doing barbell. Again, trying to preserve the back as much as possible until I know for sure it's better. There's a spider. We got him. We got him, guys. All right. You know, is it too late to say for the boys, you know, get this video out there? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll see what happens. All right, time to get the next step. My goodness, that burned. Well, let me make sure you're recording. You are, didn't mean to drop you, sorry. Well, so everything feels pretty good. That one burned a little bit more than the last one. I also wasn't letting the weight go as far forward until the end. So, this will be my last set of this. And we're gonna hit some hammer curls and some core work, but just never ends, does it? If you guys are interested in seeing how I rehabbed my sciatic pain and how I kind of diagnosed it, let me know. Maybe I can make a video just exclusively on that if you're interested. Again, it's very specific to my case and my instance, so you know, my information might make yours worse, but it also, if it's very similar to what happened to you, or it's the exact same thing, then it'll help. So, but let me know down in the comments or reach out. All right, time to hit the last exercise, get a nice little pump, work the brachialis just a little bit, and get a nice thick wider arm. Of course, again, I'm not going for hypertrophy, I just want a little bit of a pump, lower volume today. I'll probably go fairly intense, light but intense, so. You know that feeling that you just want to keep going and doing more? No? You can go to failure? Wow, that's cool. I can't. I hurt my back. I will someday soon though. You know, once this is resolved, I'm gonna get right back on and be just fine. So, time to get it. So, by now most of you who are seeing this will probably know that everything that causes flexion around the elbow there, to do this movement, you have the brachioradialis, the brachialis, and the bicep brachii. Bicep brachii. So, you know, it's personally, again, it really comes to that balance. That one wasn't a complete failure, but it was really burning. I don't know why I'm walking over to you. But, you know, as I was saying, it's all about balance. So the bicep brachii sits right here. The brachialis sits up under the biceps and goes down here a little bit, attaches down here. You have the brachioradialis, which is this lovely little muscle right here. And, you know, this is where you get that reverse curl action, you know. You develop that, get some nice looking back of the forearms, which I don't have. I'm not standing over the lights to like show you that it looks good, because it doesn't look great. I still have a long way to go, but it doesn't look bad with good lighting. Isn't that how anything works? But yeah, so I think it's important. I like to approach my training anatomically. So depending on the function of a muscle, I like to try to hit every muscle that I can, small, big, and there's no such thing as true isolation, right? Right, you can bias more muscles than the other muscles and optimally train certain things over other things, but you still hit stuff, right? So pull-ups, pull-downs, even straight arm lat pull-downs. You know, your triceps are activating to keep your arms straight so you can keep that leverage further away from you, creating a little bit more torque against the lats, so you do a little bit more work, because if you try to do those doing this right here, it's going to be a lot easier. All right, here we go. Ooh. Ooh. It's also a lot easier to go to a failure when you have a machine, because you can safely do so and then just drop it and not worry about hitting your toes, breaking something, or just something happening that wasn't meant to happen. But anyway, that is vlog day 7. So if you are interested in learning anything in particular, comment it down below, ask me, and I'll cover it in the next video. And please let me know if you like the long-term content versus the more short-term content. It would mean a lot. Again, I'm really trying to take this serious, so please help me by supporting the channel. You don't have to do anything crazy, just maybe share the video, like it, comment. If you haven't, please do subscribe. Any of it helps. So, you know, thank you for joining me for another video. Thanks for coming out here with me during my rehab. Means a lot. And yeah, I'm starting to get real fuzzy in the head, so if I'm forgetting anything, many apologies, but I will see you guys in the next video. Have fun, take care, until next time. Again, some other YouTuber's outro. I'm so spaced right now. Like, comment, subscribe. No, I'm pretty sure I already said that.